Welcome everybody to the Workforce for Agentic Workforce session. My name is Mustafa. I'm with Royal Cyber. Uh, we have an amazing session planned for you today. We have today Sundar from Microsoft, who will be speaking, and then we have Sarmad at the back. He's a senior uh, data scientist. So he will be one of the speakers. And then we also have Asif, who is our senior Copilot uh, engineer. So he will be also speaking today. Here is the high-level agenda of the topic today. So we will be talking about agentic AI organization. Then Sundar will be talking about what are the new things. Announcement happened last week in the Microsoft Ignite conference 2025. Then Asif will be talking about Microsoft Copilot. So Copilot has completely changed now. So there are a lot of new features in it. So he will be going through all of those features, and plus he will be showing some live demos. Then Sarmad will be talking about Azure AI Foundry use cases. And he will be focusing on two major use cases. One is in the higher ed sector, and one is in manufacturing. And then he will be also showing live demos. Okay, so one question which every CIO and everybody is, asking, if I were using AI to build my business today, right? What would you do differently, right? So everybody is asking the same question. So there is a new, organization which has come up, which is called Frontier Firms. What is Frontier Firms? So future of work will be shaped by Frontier Firms. Organizations that are human-led and also agent operated. Okay, so that's what we call Frontier Firms. Why we want to become frontier firms? There are a lot of benefits of becoming frontier firms, and some of them are faster decision, automated routine work, higher accuracy, more time for creativity, etc., etc. So there are a lot of benefits. So how do I move forward? So how do I move forward towards frontier firm, right? So I think everybody is like asking the same question. I was like, talking to a lot of you out here, and everybody has this legacy systems, and they want to be more, AI driven, etc. So how do they move forward, right? So the first path in this frontier firm is uh, that if let's say that I work for a university, right, higher ed. So I will be giving some sort of an, assistant. It could be either a Microsoft Copilot, or it could be either ChatGPT. And I think this assistant will be helping this particular university person in drafting emails, summarizing PDF files, or it could be helping him with generating reports. It is so in this first phase, it is helping this person, but it is not running, automatically. Now, in the second phase, what will happen once you move from the assistant to the collaborator phase? So every team, so let's say that I'm working in a university and I'm in the uh, registrar team, right? So I have these different, agents which are working, and all of these agents are working autonomously. So one, agent is like helping me to process, applications. One, agent is helping me to update CRM. One agent is helping me to submit a response back to those applications, right? So these are so I think that is my phase two, where agents are working autonomously for a particular department in your higher ed university. Now, in the phase three, what will happen, which is called orchestrator, every part of the company will be AI driven. So either you take finance, so in the finance, agents will be helping to do account reconciliation. If you talk about, HR will be, there will be agents, helping to do, employee onboarding. If you talk about IT agents will be there to do system monitoring. If you talk about, student services, agents will be there to answer questions 24/7. So how do you reach from uh, phase one to phase three, right? So, I mean, a lot of different companies are using, agentic AI right now. 87% are confident that that agents will help expand capacity. If you see updates from Toshiba say 5.6 hours per employee per month. Siemens 50% in reduction in repeat service visits. Volkswagen realized 40% in time saving. So I think there are a lot of amazing use cases out there where they have seen real value utilizing agentic AI. So what will you do differently, right? So whatever you are doing right now, how you can become a frontier organization, right? So that's a question which everybody is asking right now. So, so we have created this AI agent readiness life poll where, so this life poll will help you to understand that where does your organization currently stand in becoming agentic AI ready? Is it in the beginning stage, developing, advanced, or frontier stage? So if you can quickly, one more time, scan this barcode. If you can go to this 20.com and just join, or just scan this barcode out here. Everybody's in there? Perfect. So the first question, I mean, for this frontier firm is, how far is your organization in integrating AI with ERP, CRM, and custom apps? So most of you are saying partially limited. Okay, good. So I think a lot of people are in the partially stage, number 9. Okay, that's good. That's good. If you can go to the next one. What is your biggest barrier to scaling agentic AI beyond pilots into production? I mean, I know some of you are working on different AI projects, so security is your big concern, okay? Data quality, lineage, okay, and governance, lack of internal AI talent. Majority of you are saying that security and compliance concerns is your biggest problem. So Microsoft Copilot comes with a very good data governance framework, which is based on the Microsoft purview. And I think Asif and Sarmad will be going through that. That will be answering a lot of these questions. Next question is, which automation layer will be most critical in the next 12 to 18 months? Okay, so everybody, AI agents for cross-department automation. Some of you are interested in the copilots, domain-specific copilots. AI agents. Does somebody wants to share any domain-specific copilots they are thinking with basically everybody? I think everybody is trying to solve similar problems. So if you want to share any domain-specific, if anybody wants to share anything. Next one is which data foundation do you use or plan for your AI strategy? A lot of you use Microsoft Fabric. Okay. Azure Data Lake Storage, Databricks Lakehouse, Snowflake. Okay, good. Which enterprise agent would you deploy first? HR agent, finance agent, ID ops agent, or customer support agent? Everybody, ID ops agent is a number one. I think that's what we also see it. I mean, ServiceNow, agent, basically everybody wants to. Yeah, everybody wants to automate the IT ops agents. So I think that is something pretty common. Yeah, that's good. How do you evaluate ROI for AI-driven workforce automation? I think that is the number one question everybody is asking. I mean, a lot of people had also concerns, hours saved, productivity improvement, faster turnaround time for requests, reduction in operation cost. Very nice. So hours saved is the main ROI. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I mean, for that feedback. I mean, that really gives us what type of AI-driven projects are you looking for. Okay, so now I think I would like to hand it over to Sundar, and then I think Sundar will give you a quick overview of the Microsoft Ignite highlight, which happened last week. And let me just bring the presentation up again.
Good afternoon. So I'm Sundar Ramakrishnan, Azure Cloud AI specialist for Microsoft. I cover Midwest region. So I'm mostly on education, higher ed customers, but if you are working with any Microsoft folks on your team, happy to connect with them. So my job is going to be really quickly burst through the Ignite announcements, what we did, just make sure to get up to speed where we are. From there, I want to hand it over to the smart people here and go through the demo. I think the most of if you look at the announcements, I put a summary again using the Copilot. I did this, one page or one slide. Some of them are already answered by you, so I don't want to go through everything. But the Ignite AI, it's not anymore. It's just a add-on. AI is not add-on. It's already system. It's the foundation for everything. And Microsoft Vision is also like most of our talked about the frontier folks. What does it mean? How we can be Microsoft, be your business partner, and empower you to be a frontier firm of that, right? I mean, the definition we already talked about the human, the agent coordination, right? That's a collaboration. And then, of course, the AI across the workflows, governance, and security and innovation. Those are the key Microsoft vision going forward. That's what the emphasis of the Ignite announcement made by our leadership. Some of the tactical hero announcements are Work IQ. You might know all these things. I'm just repeating. Work IQ is a contextual intelligence integrated with the AI, means that it monitors, or it can monitor your patterns and emails and your productivity suite, and then give us suggestions on how we can do that kind of stuff. For example, if I'm preparing for a meeting like this presentation, it can give me a kind of preparation notes, like these are the things we should be talking about, and these are the attendants, and who are the attendees, what they are interested in, what they are doing, going through your LinkedIn and things like that. So it's more of looking at the contextual intelligence. And then the Agent 365, many of you posted that are voted for the lacking of AI deployment is one of the reasons was security and governance. That was the reason we have an Agent 365. What it means is you can create any agents, and all those agents can be governed and secure through a single pane of glass in M365. That's the Agent 365. Have a question? Okay, sorry. I'm just quickly running through, but you can stop me anywhere and ask questions. Feel free. Then the Fabric, the Foundry. Actually, we always want to be unified platform and have more analytics. Without data, there is no AI. So we want to make sure. And also, I saw that after security, the data quality was one of the big ask from you guys. So that's another thing. The Fabric IQ comes up with the clean data quality and security, things like that. And we are having the Foundry integrated, the unified data. And of course, last but not least is the Agent Factory. There are a lot of announcements on the Agent Factory, but I just want to make it very simple here. You can now create with the agents in a Copilot Studio. You can do it in an AI Foundry, and then I think that's what Sarma is going to go through the demo of that, so that you can always integrate that in a front end with the Copilot or anything. So our basic model, if you look at the announcement here, it's very simple. You can have your business as an agent and have your Copilot as a UI, as a front end. So that way you can integrate that in a free form and use it more secure and governance way of doing things. So that way you're not really want too much. I mean, of course, the security is a shared responsibility, but you don't want to be single-handed, holding the security on yourself. So Microsoft will manage some of the security and governance. Then the innovations on the Copilot side, we have an agent now in Word, Office Suite, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. We have voice interactions in Copilot. Copilot chat everywhere. It's always available, and then you have a video creation. It's already. And then why all these things, right? I mean, like again, end of the day, of course, Microsoft announcements are announcements, but most of us asking what it matters, right? For your firms, that this is what you need. You want to automate the workflows. Automation is important, and then reduce the operational cost, and then make the improve the decision making speed. That I saw that one of the, I think number four or seven people voted for that. So I think the speeder, faster analytics thing, and then secure AI adoption at scale. So I think we want to make it enterprise level. The AI adoption, AI democratization is priority for Microsoft with security. So I think when you're talking to any Microsoft folks, including myself, when you talk about AI, it's not just AI, it's talking about the security and how we are governing and those kind of stuff. Because end of the day, your success is our success, right? I mean, you don't want to find think about, oh, this is Microsoft product. We don't have a security and things like that. So I think we make sure that security is covered in that. And then what's next? I mean, you heard that Anthropic model in AI Foundry, which is a big news. And then also other thing I did not mention here, the Copilot price is also reduced. I mean, I don't know, it's from $30 now, $21 or something like that. So they reduced the price as well. And Azure Copilot, I'm not sure how many of them are here from secure government projects, GCC High and those kind of things. And just in case if you're working on any government or cloud governance project, then that's Copilot coming as well. So Copilot is pretty much a trade model of Microsoft. Right now you can use it with any, you're not, before we married to OpenAI, now, I mean, we're not any worse, but still OpenAI is our partner. But now we are also, taking other, other models and so open source. That's what Anthropic is one example, coming from AWS. So I think this is, we are open, we are more heterogeneous now. So that's what I want to leave it here to say that you have this fantastic demos are coming. Give you a hand over. Any questions for me? Anything I can answer?
Right. So I will, hi, first of all, hi, everyone. I'm Asif. I run the practice for automation and Copilot for Royal Cyber. Closely work with Sundar and Microsoft most of the time. So when Sundar was talking about Copilot, there are multiple flavors of Copilot as well as the overall agentic platforms that Microsoft offers. And we can divide it into three segments, as you can see here. One is that out-of-the-box M365 Copilot that helps you dig information from your Teams chats or your Outlook or your SharePoint. Most of the time, you can just ask about your work-related things, as well as it has a tab for going to web and use it as like ChatGPT. So you can use it either for your organization data or for web, and out of the box, it works for you. Where I will focus is the middle one that you see is for makers, and that helps you extend the experience of Copilot the way you want to have. So it can let you connect with applications and enterprise systems that are outside of even Microsoft Word. So it can let you connect with other systems either through APIs or through MCP servers or through computer use or your Power Automate automations that you already have. And the third one is for developers. That's pro code option to use from Azure AI Foundry down. Now it's called Microsoft Foundry. And Sarma will go over it a little later. So let's see what's Copilot Studio, the middle option. So it helps you build autonomous agents. And when I say autonomous, they can trigger based on lots of different entry points. So your agent may trigger because you got a new email in your inbox or a new chat message in your Teams or a new file at a specific location on your drive or on a server or on SharePoint, on OneDrive or anything. Or maybe it can trigger based on a new record that comes in database, the record changes in database. So you can think of anything and it can be triggered through that. So that actually autonomously triggers and gets something done for you. So when we design such a Copilot through Copilot Studio, we have multiple ways of designing the behavior of that agent. You can start building such an agent by just a declarative prompt that you're an agent, you're supposed to do this and this, and it understands and follows your instruction. You can have certain segments or certain functionalities within that Copilot to be structured. You sometimes need some part of your Copilot's operation not to improvise on the fly and perform. In fact, you want some specific steps to be performed in that scenario. Let's suppose if you ask onboard John Doe, right? And the Copilot understands you're talking about onboarding a new employee, but there's a specific process and there are certain steps you need to follow to onboard this employee. So those steps can be already in a structured flow that the Copilot will just call. And that's within the Copilot Studio, powered by Power Automate. Additionally, now you can have MCP, Model Context Protocol, configured within Copilot Studio for any external application to interact with that application. And when I say interact, you can either be pulling data from that application using this protocol or performing actions into that application using this protocol. So there are multiple plugins or connectors available within Microsoft Copilot Studio to connect to these external applications and then have them available in your Copilot. Or if it's an application that's not available here, you can just click New Tool, go ahead. It will let you configure that. There was a question in market for like last 2 years that how Microsoft Copilot can allow multi-agentic orchestration. So earlier we used to have this limitation that each Copilot agent can perform it on its own, but cannot call another agent if the task it is assigned is something that some other agent should perform. Now this issue is solved, and you can connect other Copilot agents with your orchestrator agent. So you can build one main agent or orchestrator agent and connect the other agents. So you can see here, while developing a Copilot agent, you can either connect to, like you can create an agent like this and go ahead and create another agent, or click this option to connect to an existing agent that you already produced in the past. You can also connect this agent that you're generating right now with Microsoft Fabric. And Microsoft Fabric has a new functionality called Data Agent now. So Data Agent, just with few clicks, you can produce a data agent with your Microsoft Foundry's workspace. And that data agent would start appearing here in Copilot Studio that you can connect it. Or you can connect to any agent that you developed in Azure AI Foundry. Copilot is now not stuck with just OpenAI. You can connect it with your own models. You can connect it with the models that you have in Azure AI Foundry. So Azure AI Foundry has a lot bigger pool of models that you can have there. And you can use those models now from Copilot Studio. All right, good question. So let me repeat that for the online audience. So at what point do you start consuming the credits? So the pricing model is it's not just one pricing model that you go and use. If you have a Copilot Studio license during the development, that license is enough. When you publish it, you start using the credits, and credits are based on what kind of query it is, how complex it is. So we can go over in a lot of detail later. There's a table that I can show you through which we can understand that what sort of query will consume how many credits, but it's kind of like a few cents for even a complex query. All right. Along with all this functionality, the Copilot Studio also gives you visibility to how your agents are being used. So a lot of KPIs are there. The performances and the number of times a specific segment of the agent is called, all can be visualized here in the analysis. And there are KPIs to identify trends and areas for improvements and opportunities. And you can also share these reports through the Copilot Studio agent. So let's see this example. When you start building an agent, you need to have a trigger. So for this scenario, you can see that a new email that arrives in Copilot, that arrives in Outlook is the trigger condition. And we can put like what could be the subject of the email or what might be the sender of the email based on which it would be triggered. So you can put those filter conditions. It could be anything else like getting a file in SharePoint or new data, change in database. So it has a instruction that do what it is supposed to do with this email. And then there are some actions that it needs to perform based on the information that it receives in the email. And there's a response. This response can be either on the same email address or some other email address or in a Teams message, in maybe an entry into Dynamics or Salesforce, ServiceNow, anything is possible. So we have built a lot of such agents for customers as well as some POCs. You can see some backend enterprise applications through which our Copilot agents are connected, and users can mostly interact to them with Microsoft Teams, but it can be published on other mediums, like it can be on a website or a mobile app or any other chat like Slack or Telegram. A lot of options are there. Even they can be published on telephone line. So these are some examples that we have, but I won't be going over on most of them. I'll just pick a few and show you some of the features and some behaviors. All right, so this is Copilot Studio home screen for if some of you have not seen it. There are some example templates here and some learning resources at the bottom. If I get to my agents, these are few agents that I have. Let's see first what is a multi-agentic orchestration. So this is an orchestrator agent that I'm showing you right now. And there are multiple capabilities we can give this agent. Like we can have it access to knowledge source. I haven't given it any because it's just an orchestration agent, but I can connect it with sources like public websites or SharePoint or others. and I can connect it with tools. So when I say tools, I can connect it with a lot of plugins are here. Flows, these are Power Automate flows that I can connect it with. And based on the specific ask, this agent will be able to trigger that Power Automate flow. But most importantly, I can connect it with MCP. So these are the MCPs that it offers, and I can even connect it with any MCP that is not there. Do we have any questions till here? Anyone has any doubts like what's MCP? All right. So now coming towards the multi-agentic model that we were talking about, this is an orchestrator agent, and it has access to multiple other agents. For example, this agent has 4 sub-agents that it can call based on need. The first one is an agent that has access to multiple insurance-related repositories explaining different aspects of insurance, like different terminologies or how insurance works. It's just for educational purpose, this one. So this agent is responsible for answering anything if someone is not sure how insurance works or what term means what. This second agent is responsible for comparing different insurance plans and advising based on like comparing and advising and details, providing details about specific insurance plans provided by different carriers. And this one is a new agent. This is a new insurance policy agent. If the user asks for applying for a new insurance, this one is called, and for claims, this one is called. So let's see. I will try some commands, and yeah, it will come in. So the first query I'm asking is, what is a deductible? So this is a question, generic question about how insurance works or how different terminologies of insurance are. Oh, so on left side, it will show how it is calling different segments or different other sub agents. So it understood this is a task for insurance terms expert and brought me a detailed response that it acquired from this sub-agent. If I ask show me all available insurance plans. So Insurance 360 Copilot that has the ability to understand the access to have different insurance plans offered by different carriers, it goes through and it will list them here. So it brought back details about insurance plans. And the right agent responded. Now, when I say, sorry, applies A went off. So it understood, okay, I'm talking about applying a new insurance. It called the new insurance policy plan, Copilot agent, and it is now asking me questions that what I want to do, like it's a home insurance, let's suppose, and so it is able to put these details and apply for different carriers. Now I'll quickly just show another. I will not fill all the details for claiming for insurance and just show you that it will call the right agent and do this. So the orchestrator agent is pretty powerful now, and it can help you divide your objectives in different buckets so that it hallucinates a lot less. Right? So it called the right agent, and now you can see here that it called the new claims agent. Any questions? Yeah.
I know that my integration needs MCP server build.
Sorry?
How do I know that my integration needs MCP server build?
All right. The question is, how do I know my organization needs an MCP server built? So first, I think you have to see if there is an MCP server already available for the tool you want, right? So probably the best way is to use that already available MCP server. If there is no MCP server available already, you can choose to build it, or you can just build the scenarios or the use cases you want to use in your Copilot directly through the API calls. So let's suppose you have scenarios that you already automated, at least like 50% of those scenarios are already automated through your Power Automate flows, right? So you can start using them through Copilot Studio directly through Power Automate flows. Or if there are limited scenarios that you need to put in your Copilot Studio, I think you can go without having to put a MCP server, right?
You have an orchestrator with 4 sub agents.
Right.
The sub agents are triggered by the orchestrator.
Correct.
What did you have to do to train the orchestrator as to which sub agent is right for the context the user provided?
Good question. So question is how the orchestrator agent is knowing which agent to call. How did we train that? How did we specify that? So when you start building an agent, let's see if I show you any agent among these. New insurance policy agent. All right, I opened this, and when I built that, I specified this description that this is the condition for which you will be used, right? When I connect this sub-agent to the orchestrator agent, this description is automatically fetched and it shows up on the screen where I am adding it. I can change it, make it more descriptive maybe, or if it was not properly put in when this sub-agent was generated, I can change it there, or I can use it the way it is. So this much is this instruction is enough for it to understand that what it is supposed to do. And if the intention of the ask matches this, it knows that I have to call this sub-agent. So I can just specify in these scenarios, you should use this sub-agent. Yeah, this not something that you will have to program or something. It's just description.
Intuitive.
Correct. And by the way, all this scenario I made in like 20-25 minutes last night when I thought, okay, let's show multi-agentic architecture. So it's not that difficult to do. But what could be difficult, the detailed behavior of the agent that you want, like you have a business case that it should do, that could be something that could take some time. Not just specifying what agent would be called in what scenario. You have a question? Correct. Yeah, it will know it by itself. So the first part, when you change this description, like if I say add it here and then save it and then press this publish button, the new description would be available for the orchestrator agent. Now the question is, would it create problem if there are too many sub agents? It can potentially be a problem. It can create hallucination if they are not well defined or if they are in too many numbers. So it's a problem that can be fixed. I don't think there is any recommendation for that, right?
I don't think.
Yeah.
Also, I think the previous question was, there is a GUI behind the scenes. They don't associate with GUI. The name description, English is for your understanding, but the way that the version control you're talking about, that I think the latest will be on the top. So it goes to the GUI and fix that, right?
All right. So two things I noticed in the earlier polls or the activities we were having. One, a lot of folks are using Fabric to understand their data, and Fabric's data agent can be connected as a sub-agent from here. So that's one. Second, a lot of folks were focusing on IT ops or things that would ServiceNow probably be solving. So I can show you something that may give you some ideas. So I have this is my Teams, and I think let me make it a little bigger to everyone to be able to read this. Is it? Yeah. All right. So there are some agents here that I have published on my Microsoft Teams. You can see Salesforce agent or different agents like retail operations or insurance related agent that we just saw from the Copilot Studio also. But I'll go to agent for ServiceNow. And this is my communication with this agent this morning. And if I show you this, I asked it, what are the incidents with caller ID Vinny? And it brought back some incidents that are with the caller ID Vinny. I asked it to show change requests, and it is giving me the change requests it has in ServiceNow. The formatting can be improved. I'm asking that change request assigned to a user, specific user, and it brought me back the change request this user should be doing. It can be made in a way like if I ask, what are the change requests assigned to me? And teams with the teams that is through Copilot using will call the right APIs or call the it knows that who is using Teams, right? So with that user ID, it will ask ServiceNow, what are the incidents of change requests assigned to this guy? I asked it how to request ITIL access. So in this instance of ServiceNow, there is a knowledge base article about how to request for ITIL access. It summarized that article in one line, gave a link if I want to read that article myself, also understood my intent and said, do you want to do it? Would you like to raise ITIL access request? And I said, yes. It went ahead and asked those questions that it needs to fill this request. And after confirmation came back with the request number and did everything for me. Any questions here?
Over processing data considered private by default. Sorry, to understand. We want to create an agent that exposes our internal processes, right? The outside world.
So this is Microsoft Teams that is being used within your organization, right? So it is not publishing anything outside of your organization.
You want to control the agents, the policies, That's where the agent will start. We have about policy because of the term. So we can keep a record around these agents, private, public, that however you want to be. We just like to be fired. You kind of walk with specific agents that can by the governance side of it. That's part of, there's no one answer for that. Microsoft doesn't have a control over it, so we just have to learn based on every user. So power users, I mean, generally, the power users or the knowledge workers, we call it, if they don't have a powerful tool, they have to depend on IT to build it every time. So it depends on IT wants to do it, or who's going to manage these agents and things like that, or like, for example, the HR team. HR team are not very technical savvy compared to the IT team, but if they have all the documents in SharePoint or Google Drive or whatever, right, and they can create an agent, so be it, right? So it depends on, they need to talk to team and find out the documents.
Administrative, from an administration perspective,
Yes.
that you want, anyone to place it for certain area.
That's what the agent 365 after us starting was working on tenant level.
Right.
You can administrate and you can control it. That this team can do it, this team can activate or who have access to it, those two.
Think so.
Hey everyone, I'm Yusuf. I'm really excited to give you guys a quick dive into how Campus Mind is reshaping AI in education. What we've learned is simple. Universities don't need more tools. They need a better platform. Campus Mind brings pre-built workflows and specialized agents that help across all your departments like IT, teaching and learning, and admissions. And not only that, they're also connected to all the systems that you already use. So let me show you guys what that all really looks like. So this is our Campus Mind platform. Okay. So this is our Campus Mind platform. And this specific agent I'm going to start off showing you with is our teaching and learning agent. So students are spending so many hours studying and they have such a small window with their professor. It's really difficult when they're stuck. They email, they search, they wait. The learning process really slows down. So that's where our virtual teaching assistant changes that experience. Now students can come directly to a system that's connected to the learning management system. So all of the content that the professors put out, the AI is trained on that so that they can help students very similar to how they would. So now when a student comes to the virtual teaching assistant, they can get concept clarification, quiz help, assignment help, etc. And this specific example, I'm showing like, can you help me prepare for this unit quiz? So what it does is it brings all the key topics to the student. It gives them practice questions to prepare, it gives them things to think about going into the quiz, gives them important vocabulary that will come up. And say like, okay, this student is struggling on this specific part, trends in the periodic table in this unit. So now it'll really break that down, give them the definitions they need. It'll bring them relevant materials and make sure that the student is supported throughout the process. So when they hit a roadblock, they're not stopped, they're motivated to keep going. And professors aren't just flooded with a lot of FAQs. So now let me move into a whole different part of the campus, which would be IT. We work with a lot of big universities, and what we found is that in the first couple weeks of the semester, their IT team is flooded with thousands of IT tickets. So like all the staff are burnt out, the wait times are so high, and the student experience suffers a lot. So instead our IT support would be the front line. Everyone would come there first, and they would just simply explain their issue. How do I connect to my Wi-Fi? And what it does is it goes into your ServiceNow help desk, brings all those relevant materials, and tries to support the user through solving their issue and troubleshooting. See, say like I went through this, it's still not working. It'll keep trying to help me, but once it realizes that, okay, this issue is too complex for me and the user to fix, what it'll do is based off the conversation, it'll create a perfectly formatted ticket that's directly sent to ServiceNow, so the IT team can clearly just fix it and without any extra steps. And now another agent I want to show you is something that I think is really important because it's the first stage of when a university interacts with students, admissions. Every admission office wants to give students the best experience, but in reality, it's very difficult when you have a small team and a lot of workload. So for example, what's happening right now is a student will call in and they'll ask, what is my admission status? Or they might send an email. Now, what an admission officer has to do is they have to go into the SIS, look through all the data, find that student, see what documents they're missing, and then draft an email to let them know. Now, instead, what an admission officer can do is as soon as they get that call, they can come to CampusMind and they can ask, what is the admission status of this student? It'll bring them, it'll go inside the SIS, find that it's missing a letter of recommendation, and I asked, can you send him a reminder to complete it? And what it does is it goes into my Gmail, it creates a draft of that email, and all I have to do is review it and send it. So teaching and learning, IT, admissions, what CampusMind really is doing is it's removing a lot of the friction and allowing and automating what can be automated, but also making sure your team can focus on what really matters. Thank you. I'm going to hand it off to Sarva now, and he's going to be giving some manufacturing demos.
Thank you so much, and hello everyone. Presentation. All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Sarmad Afzal. I lead the AI practice at Royal Cyber. I'm gonna be showing you a couple of demos in manufacturing. So, before we actually dive into manufacturing, we just want to show you guys what we are up to in the roadmap for CampusMind. As Asif already discussed, that Copilot is going to be the UI for everything. Every organization is using Copilot's Microsoft Team or any other channel embedded inside your Microsoft ecosystem. So we kind of creating a MCP server for the CampusMind so that you being a professor or a student or an IT staff member in a higher ed education institution don't have to go anywhere else. So you just have to use Microsoft Word or any other tool in 365 suite and simply talk to the virtual teaching assistants or the IT workforces or the recruiting workforces that he was displaying on our CampusMind platform. All right. So moving forward, is anyone over here who is from the manufacturing background or still works in manufacturing industry? Perfect. All right. I'm sure you're gonna like these demos. So it's kind of an extension of what you have seen with Microsoft Copilot. So we have taken it beyond. It's not just a one window where a user can go ask questions and return back with some answers. It's kind of a channel inside your team's environment where alerts are being posted whenever there is an anomaly happening on your engine, on your turbine, or compressor in a manufacturing factory floor, right? So why? Why do we want to have some agentic automation inside a manufacturing plant and what it is going to deliver to you? So there are like delayed in detection of detects and anomalies. Sometimes I myself being, part of one of the manufacturing companies, I've worked there as an engineer. So you have to send the human labor to go and verify what's going on. The indication that comes to your control room are not often quite explanatory. So they have to go, they have to do some assessment and come back and tell you, okay, these are the issues. This is what we are seeing. Then there is like scattered data. unsynchronized communication, then manual diagnosis that actually causes delays. You're gonna see something, and then there is one person who is very expert of everything. You're gonna wait for him. He'll show up, go and tell you, okay, this is going wrong, right? Then this is kind of a reactive decision making. You are not proactive. You are not taking care, of your equipment with all the best practices for preventive, prescriptive maintenance schedules that you have already defined. These all collaboratively results in downtime, loss of productivity, and higher maintenance cost, all reflecting in non-production time, which is like a killer in a manufacturing industry. So towards autonomous operations, this is kind of enabling a multi-agentic orchestration using Microsoft Copilot that is going to give you sub-agents which are going to talk with the inventory module in your ERP, that is going to talk to, let's say, work orders that you have created, operations that are going on in your ERP, and is also receiving data from the manuals that you have around the engines, around the turbines or compressors installed in your manufacturing plant, right? So it can answer questions from those manuals. Doing RAG, we have a specialized agent for that, and then there are sub agents, each concerned about one of the piece inside your ERP. Or if you have a specific workflow, you can have a specific sub agent too, right? So this is how the architecture looks like. So for the purpose of demo, we are going to use a simulator of a microprocessor that is from Azure, and that kind of helps you in understanding how sensors inside an engine, inside any of the machine that you have in the plant is sending data. It's like telemetry data. Every other second, you're gonna read something about temperature, humidity, pressure, a lot of different indicators. So if we look at this diagram, at the heart of it sits the orchestrator agent made using Copilot Studio. Then you have a work order agent that is going to look into all the work orders that you have in the ERP. It has a knowledge agent which is connected to all the manuals that you are using of the equipment that you're using in your plant. And then you have inventory agent as well. That is going to look into what part is available, what is the count of the stock, SKUs and all, right? So this is about the orchestration. But then there are like other components that we are using over here, which are kind of sending alerts, are receiving data from your IoT simulator, and then it is also detecting the anomalies, right? Again, another look over how the flow works is that you send a query that goes to the orchestrator, and then you have knowledge, work order, and inventory agent that basically does the job, calls different tools, brings the data back. This is how the entire flow works. We're going to run the simulator. It's going to send data from the simulated sensors, and then it's going to post alerts in Microsoft Teams. Once we see the alerts, engineers can respond and can respond collaboratively. It's not like one-to-one chat. It's a team channel where anybody asking a question gonna get a response tagged by the name. All right. I'll switch gears and move towards the demo. Let me bring that up. Okay. So this is the IoT simulator. That you can think of as a microprocessor or PLC installed in your equipment onsite a plant that is reading the data through the sensors and sending back to the control system. And then at the same time, I'm going to show you that currently in my teams, I don't have any alerts about it, but then it is going to generate some. All right, so I've created one of the channels in Teams that is manufacturing systems. Inside that, we have alerts. These are some previous alerts, but we'll see that as we run the simulator and it is detected as an anomaly, it's going to become an alert. So as I click on start, it is sending data, and the data has some values for temperature, some for humidity, and some for pressure. So we'll hold on to it and see that new alerts are coming in. So I just got an alert, right? It's like temperature anomaly detected. We have set a threshold of 30 degrees Celsius and it has passed that. I'm going to stop it. Otherwise, it'll just keep sending other anomalies. All right. So in here, as soon as the anomaly comes and is detected, is sent to the Teams channel. And then I myself being an engineer, the first line of support to the control, system, I can go and ask what went wrong here. This message triggers one of our copilots, which is the orchestrator, and then it has sub-agents that is going to get the context in a way that it's going to get the alert data, which is like temperature anomaly detected, severity level, timestamp, alert ID, and then it is going to bring a response back for me. It takes some time, but it's going to bring a response back, and that is going to have the explanation of what went wrong, right? Meanwhile, the response is generated. I'm going to show you how I have talked about this with the previous anomalies. So this is how it works. I ask a question, hey, what went wrong? Then it replies back that the temperature anomaly detected in the C27 engine means that the engine temperature exceeded a threshold. This can happen due to several reasons. And then I can ask another question, which is going to be taking the context of our previous question answer history with the agent that says, that's bad. Can we see any previous work orders? Now this orchestrator agent is not talking to the knowledge agent, but rather it is talking to the Odoo ERP system, which I've taken over here for the purpose of demo, and is looking for this specific engine and having any previous work orders so that I could know the history of the equipment. Has it been failing all along the way, or this is the first time something has happened to it, right? And we can also see that we got a notification over here in alerts that says we got a response on it, right? Just telling it's a temperature anomaly on this specific engine, similar kind of stuff, right? What do we need to fix it? Now, again, it'll tell you by looking into the manuals, okay, this is the part that is probably bad and this is what we need to fix it. Then we can go into our inventory in Odoo ERP and check what number of, what's the stock that is available inside ERP, and then create a work order as well, right? So it says like to fix this, you may need the following parts depending on the root causes, right? And then if I say, do we have any radiator caps available in stock? Sorry, stock. Now it is going to make an API call to Odoo and then bring the data back for me. I'm gonna show you that too over here. Meanwhile, it's making call, but over here we have our inventory system for the ERP, and then we have the manufacturing module running over here, where we can see like what different work orders we already have, and then the status of those work orders too, and then we're gonna create one as well during the demo. And then again, coming back over here, we have inventory, and in the inventory, we can see what products are available and what's the stock. Like 40, we already have 15 for the coolant antifreeze, these kind of questions, right? Which you typically have in your ERP, all right? So it says, Sarma, we have 15 units of radiator caps available in stock at this location for this engine, the list price is this, okay? Can we go ahead and create a work order to fix this? Now I'll go and create a work order. It'll ask me for details, which is going to be, looking into my calendar, what time is available, when do you want to schedule the job. It's gonna ask me how long does that job is going to take. We're gonna put in all those description, and then it'll eventually create a work order, which we can see in the Odoo. Meanwhile, it's pulling up the calendar. Do you guys have any questions? Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Chance it gets a lot, right? As far as
You're trying to clean it up. You need to keep that same team chat on your system at all times, so to create a new thread. A little bit about that.
So these are like teams inside teams, which is like not just one, but a lot of members can get into it. And everything that goes into it is like a post. So I have like couple other peoples as well in this specific channel. So whoever wants to get access to this thing needs to become part of this channel so that they can also get alerts. And if let's say I add you in this and then you're gonna ask a question on the same post, alert post, you're gonna get a response based on your question. It's not gonna cross-contaminate with my conversation that is going on. Right. So agent would tag you with your name and bring your response back. Right. Any other question? Cool. All right, so I'll just wait a couple minutes. All right, no, it's here. Okay, so you can see like as soon as I said, can we go ahead and create a work order? It kind of brought up the calendar where we can go and see like which slots are available to schedule one of the maintenance job and which are not available. So here we can see that uh, today it's pretty much available and then tomorrow it's available as well. I'm gonna click on it. When I click on it, it's gonna start asking me details. Those details would be like, how long would this job take? What time do you want to start? All that stuff. So hours, I would say 2 in the AM. Job would take around 2 hours. And description, fixing the C32 engine. And then I can schedule the work order. Once it's scheduled, it's gonna pop up inside our ERP, so that the concerned teams would be notified and they have those work orders on their plan. Tomorrow they can go and start fixing it. So that's about it, the demo. Here's another overview. Alerts come from simulators, goes to teams. Teams basically it is like an alert where engineers can respond and the agentic orchestration basically takes care of everything from there. All right. So winding this up, if anybody has a question, otherwise I'll talk about the Copilot system. Cool. So Asif, would you like to talk about it? Yep.
This is not the latest slide. All right, so yeah, go ahead.
Making some suggestions based on probably if there's a way for it to provide like a confidence factor on the things recommending, like highly confident or this is low confidence, but here's what I think, right?
Yeah, definitely. So right now, like you need to take a lot of elements into the account while giving a recommendation. Right now, for the sake of demo, we just considered that temperature above 30 degrees Celsius is an anomaly, right?
Sure.
So it does like when you're gonna give it a lot of information, okay, this is the specific sensor which is sending me, an anomaly. It is going out beyond the range. Then you can always scope it. Okay, this is coming from the radiator of the engine, and this sensor is placed on the front of it. Then it can definitely tell you something with the confidence after looking at the manual. Right now it's generic. That's why it's saying, okay, these could be 5 possible reasons why you're seeing it. That's it.
I got another related question. Is there a feedback mechanism? Let's say, they go out to do the work and they find, well, different levels of active on, right? I assume there must be some mechanism to provide feedback and say that it's not correct.
Absolutely. So that's what we call in AI is the reinforcement learning. So you gonna collect the feedback. Of course, it's recommending something. You are creating a work order on behalf of what is being suggested by the AI. But then the engineer goes to the machine and realizes okay something else is going bad. So you can always bring back those reviews as feedback, which we can use to retrain and improve the responses of the AI. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Sarmal. So before winding up, this is Copilot offering that we have that can help your organization jumpstart. And this can be depending upon your journey, like how far you are. So we can help you in assessing your readiness for your agentic platforms, or we can help you with the discovery of different use cases and help you prioritize based on ROI or your the objectives that you want to achieve. We can help you with the data and integration review and see that how ready is your data, how it can be modified for better AI utilization using platforms such as Fabric. We can help you in doing pilot for different scenarios that either you pick or help you individually or by the help of our experts based on the experience they have to have the best KPIs and ROIs. We can help you in setting up your executive roadmap for rollout in different aspects of AI. I think there is some repetition here. The slide got changed. This is not the updated slide I worked on. So we can skip the last three here. Right. Any questions on the offerings? All right, this is the one I had.
Okay.
All right, so duplication in slide 2. All right, I already talked about these. This is, and beyond this, if you have anything to, if you have an idea to discuss, if you want any insights, we can have like free call set up to understand that what you're talking about and how probably it can help you. These are the upcoming sessions that we are going to have soon, later this month. Alex is here if you want to interact with him about any Microsoft Fabric related thing. He's here. He would be talking at this first event that is going to have, both of these are webinars, online events. You can join. There is this bar coming up on top that is not letting you scan maybe, but I don't know how to remove this thing. Anyway, and the second is about AI agents in action, how Copilot Studio can help you. Some of the content is similar to what we discussed today. Thank you very much.
Finally, thank you so much. We appreciate you showing up. Thank you for taking out your time. Finally, we have a survey form. We again would highly appreciate if you guys can go and spend a couple of minutes over there. I hope you guys learned something new and had a great time with us. Thank you very much.